10 biggest planes ever built. Hello, and welcome back to another amazing video. What is more relaxing than discovering some of the most intriguing, groundbreaking man-made achievements? In today's list, we'll be visiting the skies. Before we begin, thank you for choosing to watch another one of our amazing videos. To enjoy more of these videos, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get a front row seat. In this video, we'll be looking at the biggest airplanes ever built. Our list mainly features Airbus and Boeing aircraft because, no other company does it better. So fasten your seatbelts because we are about to take off. 10. The Airbus A340300. We start our list with the Airbus A340300. This was once the world's passenger aircraft made with a wingspan of 64.92 meters with an amazing length of 227 feet and 2 inches. It was made in 2005 by the German aerospace company EADS, and entered service with Air France on April 1, 2008. This Airbus can fly 8,800 miles and can contain 300 passengers in a 3-class cabin. That's 13 tons of cargo and another 3 tons of fuel per hour. Weighing in at over 275 tons, this aircraft has a wingspan of almost 80 meters and can transport up to 303 passengers. This aircraft was designed in 2001 and was also the biggest plane ever built by Airbus when it first lifted off on the 26th of June 2002. It is larger than any other general aviation aircraft deployed by the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand (CAA) and the United Kingdom's Air Accidents Investigation Branch (AAIB). The A330-300 is used by more than 50 airlines worldwide and can be flown non-stop to more than 6 different countries with a typical fuel cost of $845 per hour. Despite its size, the plane can carry an incredible amount of personal items as well as large bulky items that cannot be carried on other planes. 9. Airbus A340-300. Next up is the A340300, belonging to Qantas Airways and Singapore Airlines. The project was almost heading towards a displacement activity in Singapore's Changi airfield. That didn't happen though. It became the largest civil aircraft ever made, with a length of 73.31 meters, weighing up to 185 tons. The plane was flown for the first time on June 21, 2011 by its manufacturer, Airbus. Here's why the Airbus A340300 is on our list. The plane set a new world height record when it taxied into its final resting place at Heathrow in December 2020. The Airbus A340300 jumbo jet is one of the most complex and expensive planes ever built. Costing $28.9 billion, it is the first commercial aircraft to be designed and built by a private company. It takes over 8 hours to get from Los Angeles to New York City, although that rate increases to nearly 13 hours at higher altitudes. With its incredible size, it can be difficult to figure out where to place the plane on your list of must-haves for vacation travel. 8. Airbus A340500. The Airbus A340500 in 2008 was dubbed the mother of all jumbo jets. Once again, it was made by European hands, and it is no wonder that this huge aircraft can carry up to 400 passengers in a fully loaded flagship configuration. 290 in Economy Plus, 6 onboard jumbo flights, and can fly at an average speed of 462 miles per hour. While it can carry a huge payload, its main role is to transport passengers and cargo efficiently between European cities. When the Airbus A340500 rolled off the assembly line in June 2008, it became the biggest plane ever built, with a length of nearly 255 feet and a wingspan of almost 200 feet. At nearly 22 feet high, it is the tallest airplane to have flown in service with an airliner company with a maximum takeoff weight of nearly 447,000 pounds. It can also take off vertically on short distances using its 2 outboard engines. A typical flight lasts less than 3 hours and 20 minutes and can be completed on 1 battery charge. 7. Airbus A350-900. We move on to the Airbus A350-900, which made its maiden flight from Toulouse in France. The gigantic plane weighed almost 300 tons. It is also the first plane to produce a bleedless cabin, where air enters the plane and exits at the rear through small holes. Let's have a walk inside and see more details. Big, strong, and beautiful, this incredible aircraft first entered service in 2014. It was meant to be the bigger brother of the A350-800 and the first of the A350-1000 currently flying in production. It was considered by many as their dream aircraft. Compared to the predecessor, the A340, it has better range, lower fuel consumption, and is lighter. But you might not know that its design is astonishingly special. This plane is designed for longer flights, meaning you can literally sit back and watch a movie on your long-haul flight. If ever there was a commercial jet to capture the zeitgeist of the modern world, it's the Airbus A340900, a super jumbo-sized airliner that is also the fuel-efficient alternative to flying high in comfort. 6. Boeing 777-200. The Boeing 777-200 is among the most popular airliners in the world. While some call it the rudderless plane, others prefer to call it the beautiful dreamer. With an ever-increasing list of passengers and a staggering price tag, however, few realistically think they can afford it. It's not surprising, then, that many turn to stretch goals, such as buying a single seat on board for $200 or jumping on a mystery flight with a friend. Once known as the largest airplane in the world, the Boeing 777-200 is the workhorse of AirAsia's fleet. The twin-engine narrow-body jet has been in service with AirAsia since 1998 and is a valuable asset for the airline as it seeks to expand its international network and cater to the growing regional market for air travel. It can hold up to 174 passengers and can place 8 people in a separate upper berth for an hour and a half of flight time. It can fly hourly to any international city on any day of the week with maximum capacity between provisions and shoulder emergencies. 5. Airbus A340600. The Airbus A340600 is the biggest passenger plane in the world. I had an opportunity to sit on this amazing airplane a few months ago. This made me think, why did Airbus even make this giant of an airplane? And what does it mean for the future of air transport? Airbus announced its new A340600 in 1999, and to this day, it's still one of the best to fly on. The reason behind its production has been conquering wide-body planes. The choice of the customers that were pursuing more comfortable flights, as well as with bigger capacities, led to this decision of producing the Airbus A340600. With a height of 5.92 meters, a length of 69.77 meters, and a wingspan of 74 meters, it was designed around the idea of creating a civilian airliner which was larger than any other plane in production at the time to allow for capacity growth with increasing demand for air travel. It was nearly 150 feet longer than the Boeing 747, displacing it as the world's previous biggest aircraft. 4. Boeing 777-300. Boeing introduced the 777-300, the world's biggest plane ever made and a bad competitor for Airbus A340600. This is a really huge aircraft, so big that Airbus had to make a bigger plane to carry it. This meta-analysis went viral when it was first published, and while the data has since been updated, there's still so much we can learn about the development cycles of aircraft. The first ever Boeing 777 was introduced in 1994, and since then, there were 1,270 orders placed for the aircraft. The first delivery happened on June 12, 1995. However, it was a 777-200 model. 3 years later, in 1997, deliveries of the 777-300 model started. The Boeing 777-300 was also the longest plane for almost a decade until it was outdone by the Airbus A380-800 in 2005. 3. Boeing 747-400. Up next is the Boeing 747-400, which is the first wide-body jet, and it has grown very popular for long-haul flights. It was designed to replace the Boeing 707, and any further developments have been focused on increasing fuel efficiency, capacity, and reducing the aircraft noise footprint. The Boeing 747 has a wingspan of just less than 70 meters, and each wing is capable of lifting 150 tons in total. It is a wide-body commercial airliner and cargo transport, often referred to by its original nickname, Jumbo Jet, or Queen of the Skies. Its distinctive upper deck along the forward part of the aircraft makes it amongst the highest of all fuselages carrying airplanes. Only a handful of freighters, tankers, and experimental aircraft had a higher top deck. The 747-400 model that went into service in 1989 is still active as of 2015, notably operated by British Airways, Lufthansa, and Korean Air, carrying up to 416 passengers in a typical 3-class layout, or 550 passengers in an all-economy configuration. But this is not the biggest plane ever made, believe it or not. 2. Boeing 747-8. Also known as the Dreamliner, the Boeing 747-8 is a great plane. It is comfortable, reliable, and fuel efficient. It is also the longest passenger plane ever made, as it is 20 meters longer than the current biggest passenger plane, the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo. If you had to pick just one word to describe the Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental, it would have to be big. This jumbo jet, unveiled in 2010, is much bigger than the 747-400 and can be seen as a true evolution of its namesake. The biggest plane ever made by Boeing, the 747-8 freighter goes 2,900 kilometers without refueling, and it is also a very good airplane for carrying cargo. It can load 241 tons, which makes it ideal for some goods that you may need to transport. 1. Airbus A380-800. Now, on to the main event, the Super Jumbo. When Airbus announced the A380-800 in 2005, nobody could have imagined just how big the plane is. How big is it? Compare it to a 6-story building and make 7 jumbo jets combined. Its length measures 870 feet 4 inches, which is longer than the Empire State Building. The Airbus A380-800 is the biggest plane ever made and the most expensive single piece of aerospace equipment to have ever entered commercial service. It is the product of 28 years of work by 17 different companies with an output of more than 100 planes and more than 1,000 people working on them. The A380 is the only aircraft in operation today that can even match the speed of sound. With a price tag of $379 million, the A380 is an expensive ticket, but one that is well worth it for those who truly love flying. And that's it for today's video. Let us know what you think about these planes in the comments section. What was your reaction? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get notified when a new video's out. Have a great day.